I say Thursday night. Are we ready to have some fun? All right. Couple of quick announcements before we get started. Please bring your cell phone to the off vibrate position. No table talk and no making meetings, and you will be asked to leave. With that out of the way, make some noise for Living the Plugs Showcase. And helping welcome to the stage the host of this evening, the very funny Spencer the Monkey.
How are you guys doing tonight? Wonderful, man. My name is Spencer. I'll be the host this evening. You might recognize me as also being the door guy. Remember that from 5 minutes ago? Took you all to your tables, told you nobody would talk to you. Now here we are. Hi, I'm Spencer. Nice to meet you guys again. So this is a show. Today it's Pippin's showcase. Pippin the Pug. He's in the back there. Round of applause for our club dog, huh? Yeah. People always ask if Pippin's gonna come up and do jokes. He did last time, but now we can't let him again because he keeps telling racist jokes. We keep telling him to stop. He hates black labs. That's a cute joke. That's a dog humor. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, my name is Spencer. Somebody told me that I look like Freddie Mercury if he always wore a condom. So yeah, that felt good. I feel like when you see me, you can't tell if my parents are rich or dead. And it's a mystery. I don't know. No, they're alive. It's fine. And they're very wealthy. No, we do okay. My dad thinks our phones are tracking us, which they probably are, but he doesn't know enough about technology to think that. Like, he thought Twitch was a dating app for people with Tourette syndrome. So, he doesn't get to think that, you know? Yeah, man, everybody. It's a small group tonight, you know what I mean? I'm hyper aware of what is going on in the room. I can see all of you. I know everybody. There's comics in the back, comics in the green room. Real quick, give it up for our server, Ellen, tonight. How about it, guys? There's just one of her. There's a ton of you guys, so please make sure you take care of her when the checks come around later on. But yeah, so you seem like a clean-cut guy. Don't laugh at him. Has anybody ever called you a street urchin? Probably not, right? Have you heard that before? Okay. Anybody? I've been called it. It's not a slur. Street urchin's like a kid that lives on the street. That's where the street part comes from. It's like an adolescent criminal. They probably like steal from the convenience store, you know, get in fights. Which I don't get in fights, but people have assumed that about me. Anyway, that's what a street urchin is. The only other type of urchin I've ever heard of is a sea urchin, which is like a purple ball with points. Lives in the ocean. Sometimes French people eat them. So I was like, why do they use the same word for that? They will both stab you if you try to fuck them. Urchin means stab you if you try to fuck it. So it's kind of an educational program tonight as well. See, that wasn't even really about you. I know I talked to you, but it's fine. It's harmless. God, and that guy's ugly. No, sorry. It's you know, this is really an intimate setting. I gotta be honest with you guys. It feels like I'm at a family Christmas party or something. You're like, you know, you're trying to avoid the cousin you don't like, trying to make out with the cousin you do like, you know. You guys are kissing your cousins down there? Maybe in Kentucky. That was shitty, man. We know a lot of people from Kentucky and we love them. That was wrong. All right. I'm a Jewish guy. Oh, wow, a round of applause. You better be also Jewish. Oh, and to you as well, man. I hope you have a good Sabbath tomorrow. God. Yeah, me neither. Shalom Aleichem. God, that would have been a crazy reaction if you weren't Jewish. Just yes, we love it. Growing up Jewish, one guy knows about this. Your parents are cheap. That's a true stereotype. I know I said they were rich earlier. Even if they were, I would have had no way of knowing. They never like to spend a lot of money on us, but I do remember one time they opened up their wallets for me. My high school graduation party, instead of just cheaping out, ordering pizza or whatever, they got us Chipotle catering to the house. Yeah, you can hear all the white women get excited. And maybe Chipotle catering doesn't sound that good to you, but you gotta remember, this was 2015, the absolute height of Chipotle being the shit. Remember how cool it used to be, everybody being there taking pictures with their food, you know? Nobody had died from eating it yet. Well, it was the past, the good old days. So it was fun. All my friends came over. We all pretended like we were working at Chipotle in my kitchen. She's like, oh, here you go. More carnitas for you, Steven. Whoa, watch out. Guac's extra, Mrs. Rosenstein. I'm kidding. So it was fun. The only problem is the Chipotle people forgot to pack us tortillas. Yeah, I know. It was a bummer. So my parents called over to the Chipotle place, and Chipotle it's called. And they felt so bad about forgetting the tortillas that they gave us a coupon for another whole free Chipotle catering party. Which, great day if you're Jewish, you know. So, a month later, my friends all came over, we just ran it back. You know, Steve and Ms. Rosenstein, right. And they fucked it up again, they forgot the chicken. So we already knew what to do. We just fucking Jewed it up on the phone one more time. Another coupon. And then we did that 8 times. So that's a great memory for me. We ate a lot of Chipotle, saved a lot of money, but also I feel like that's a really good modern version of the Hanukkah story. I don't know if anybody's thinking about leaving Christianity. Probably not. But if you are, I know Jesus multiplied fish and bread. Pretty good. I know for a fact he never did barbacoa. That's all I'm saying. All right, you guys, that's gonna be my time. I gotta go back to work. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be coming up in between all the comics. We have an excellent show lined up for you tonight. Some of Pippin's favorites from around the scene and around the country. How about that? So coming up to the stage right now, very funny comic, local to Cincinnati, one of our favorites. Everybody make some noise for Christian Grant!
Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? Let's have a good Valentine's Day. All right, that's the answer I expected. I had a good Valentine's Day. I've been single for a long time, and I finally celebrated with someone. I'm no longer single, and yeah, you can clap for that. Thank you. I love her a lot. Her name is Rain. My name's Christian. It's Christian Rain. Christian Rain. Somehow I'm not in a relationship. I'm in a religious rock band. I don't know how that happened. Somehow I love it in the name of Jesus. Somehow, I guess. I don't know. No, I do love her a lot. She helps me stay mature. You know? You guys know about that? You don't know how immature you are until someone's constantly around to observe you. You know? Like, I learned, like, she told me, like, Christian, you eat like shit. I'm like, that's not true. Every day I eat fruit. She's like, it doesn't count if it's rolled up. So, yeah, she helps me. I love her a lot. She helps me a lot. And it's good to stay. I think in every relationship, there's someone who's got their shit together, and then someone who's just a fucking child. I think, isn't that true, right? I'm the child. You're looking at it. I'm a child. But it's good to be childish. I like to be childish. I like to hang out with my niece. She's fun. She says like the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but I like hanging out with her. I do. One time we were walking on a sidewalk, and this woman walks past us on the phone. She goes, I just get the feeling they don't like me because I'm a Gold Star lesbian. And my niece, I swear to God, she goes, that's why I only eat Skyline. I'm not her father. I wasn't gonna explain it. I just went with it. I was like, yep, you're right. Eating Gold Star turns you gay. That backfired. I learned never lie to your niece because her next question was, have you ever eaten Gold Star? I'm not going to lie to her again. I've experimented, but it wasn't for me, okay? Well, I was thinking, where do you think gay accents come from? Because it had to come from somewhere, you know? It's got to be a point in time, and it wasn't from the first gay human, right? I don't think the first gay human didn't come out of the cave going ooga booga. He didn't do. I don't think he did that. Although it would be pretty cool, you know, just other cavemen and their loincloths just going ooga booga, and he's like, fire good, fire. I think it's pretty. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure the first gay human was also the first person to wear cheetah print. It just has to be true, right? Yeah, where did gay accents come from? Curious. Or better yet, what did gay people sound like before France was a country? All right, yeah, you're right. That's what that deserves. Yeah, no, that joke was just an elaborate scheme to make fun of French people somehow. I don't know how it turned out that way. I had someone tell me, well, if someone tells you they have ED, make sure they clarify which one. I thought I was supporting my friend about his eating disorder. I was like, look, I know it's hard. He's like, it's actually not. You think that's awkward? I offered to help. That's bad. That's really bad. But that's not as bad as doing the other way, confusing it the other way, confusing his eating disorder for erectile dysfunction. Because that's the opposite problem. When you have an eating disorder, that's when you can't keep it down. Actually, I think that's what you should clarify it. You have ED? Which one? You can't keep it up or can't keep it down? It's genius. Figured it out. You're welcome. I have ED. I got both kinds depending how drunk I am. The solution for me, for both, personally, Paula Deen. Literal food porn. Paula Deen, Rachel Ray, girl on girl slathering a turkey. The turkey's me, okay. All right. What else? Well, a little bit about me. When I poop, I look at it, I don't know. What? That's not even a little bit about me. That's a little bit about everyone. That's a little bit about everyone. Clap your hands if you ever looked at your poop once. A lot of people are lying right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing to look at your poop, right? It's totally normal to look at your poop. It's also totally normal to ask yourself, why are we eating corn? It doesn't do anything. Nothing. I ate corn off the cob. A day later, I pooped. I looked inside, and somehow it was back on the cob. What is corn hiding from us? I don't understand. Why doesn't it want to be digested? That's what bothers me. Corn, I think corn is hiding something, because corn's real name isn't corn, it's maize. And corn isn't a vegetable, it's a fruit. Did you know corn was a fruit? Isn't that weird? I think that's what gave it away. I think corn is hiding the fact that it's the forbidden fruit, because Eve ate the forbidden fruit, and how do you think God found out? That's right. God is omnipotent. He doesn't need to look at poop. But we were made in his image, so he's down to look at poop. The only reason this is called Adam's apple is because Adam's cob is something else, you know? All right, that's enough out of me, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
Christian Grant, everybody. One more time for him, huh? All right. We have a bunch of very funny comics on the show for you guys tonight, so hang tight, drink up, eat up, and coming to the stage right now, all the way from Columbus, Ohio, another very funny comedian. Everybody make some noise for Christopher Toy Lloyd!
Give it for Spencer, everybody. How we doing tonight? Hell yeah. Ayo! My landlord rent. How are you guys all doing tonight? You good? I knew Pippin the Pug was racist. I didn't even have to hear him tell jokes. Look at him. He has an all-white body and a permanent black face. Called it from a mile away. All pugs are racist. For you guys wondering what my nationality is, I'll get that out the fucking way. I look mysterious. I know. I'm black and Asian. Ladies, Asian from the waist down. Sadly, it's not good. Let's pull back on the laughs. I'm in front of you guys. It kind of hurts. No, keep laughing. It sucks. My dad's black, my mom's Asian, so I got my dad's good athletic abilities, and I got my mom's dope hair and her clit, apparently, so. Not going good in my household. You know what it's like to argue with your girlfriend once a week on whose turn it is to use the Rose vibrator? Not good. It's a battle I always lose. It sucks. I wish I had a bigger dick. I watch a lot of porn, and I get so discouraged because I just can't hit certain positions. Yeah, like you ever watch porn and she's like riding her man and she's getting like really high air, like she's on a bike on a bumpy trail, like this shit? Not in my little dick household. We don't get to do that in that position at all. When my girlfriend rides me, she has to do that weird, awkward grinding back and forth, like the dog has an itchy asshole, like this fucking motion. Oh, it sucks. She looks down on me 10 minutes and she's like, "You like that, babe? That feels good?" And I'm like, "I popped out 10 minutes ago, babe, but you're really enjoying it. Get your cardio in. Go for it." We just ended up scissoring at the night. It's very sad. It's not very good. No, I recently, I lost my job, so like she pays all the bills now, so it's a weird power shift in the house. Like I get it, she doesn't have to respect me. I get it. You can't respect a man when he comes up to you like, "Hey, I did the dishes and took out the trash. Can you please buy me God of War?" Yeah, it's embarrassing. Sucks. So I tried to spice up. We're not having sex that much, so I tried to spice it up. I'm like, "Hey, we used to role play a lot. Let's do some role play and get like fucking sexy tonight." And she was like, "Ooh, I got a good idea. You want to role play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to role play." She's like, "Okay, how about I dress up as a sexy boss?" I was like, "Yeah," and like you dress up in a suit, and then I lean over and tell you, "You got the job." All right, well, that hurt. She was like, "Oh, I could really spice it up. How about I open a bill and you come up and grab me from behind and whisper in my ear, 'I got this one.'" Yeah, I just go sleep on the couch. It's not that fucking fun. It sucks. We used to role play a lot. Last time we tried to do it, she's given me 2 beautiful kids. Her body doesn't look the same. I still love her. She tried to put on her high school cheerleading outfit. Doesn't fit as loose as it used to. It was very tight, I'd say that. And she tried to come up to me and she started trying to be sexy and she's like, I was playing the science teacher and she was the cheerleader, obviously, and she comes up to me and she says, "What do you want me to do?" And as she bent over, her stomach popped out, it ripped, went poof. Like, you know when you go to open up a can of biscuits and just bulges out the side real fast? Poof. And I went from sexy science teacher and I was like, I turned into PE teacher. I was like, "I need you to run a mile in 6 minutes or you're gonna fail the class. Go, 6-minute mile, lady, go." She gets so, I hate that joke because if she was here, she'd be so mad. But like, she's so self-conscious because she's like having a hard time losing the baby weight. So like, she doesn't like to go. Like, I have my friends who are comics like that throw like Super Bowl parties and shit, and she never goes. And she's like, "I don't want to go because I see how they talk to you in the group chat. They're gonna fucking tear me to pieces." And I was like, my friends are at comics, yes, they're assholes, but they're not gonna fucking make fun of you for being fat. They're gonna make fun of me for fucking a fat chick. Now let's go. Put your waist trainer on, relate to the Super Bowl party. Come on, it's not about you. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl? At least you guys are all Bengal fans, I'm guessing? At least you guys got a good fucking team. An Eagles fan? Ugh.
Sorry.
It wasn't holding, fuck you. It wasn't holding. I don't even have a dog in that fight. I'm glad you guys have a good team. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, which is like, yeah, it hurts. Don't fucking say woo. It hurts because it's like being a Cleveland Browns fan, but like worse. It's fucking awful. There was one year where we had one of the worst seasons. We lost like 11 games in a row. And then there was a school shooting that happened in Detroit. And then they got the first win. And then the coach got on TV and he was like, oh, we knew we had to get this win because we had to get this win because we said we were going to get this win for that school that had the school shooting. We dedicate this win to that school. And as a human, I'm like, that's fucking heartwarming. But as a Detroit Lions fan, I'm like, how many more kids would I kill so we can go to the playoffs? Like, I did the math. 3 kids died, they got 1 game. If we kill 63 kids, we're in the Super Bowl. So it gets worse. The fucking coach got on TV and was like, we're gonna dedicate this football to the school, put it in a trophy case. You think they want that fucking 1 in 11 team football? That's like being a Make-A-Wish kid and you're like, I want to meet Mickey Mouse, and then Chuck E. Cheese walks in the door. You're like, foiled. Football is such a dangerous sport. I love it. I have a friend who, we recently lost a kid. He played in the Canadian League and he went to college with us, and he got hit on the field, got a concussion, went into the hospital into a coma, and he never woke up. He died. And then my friend who I went to school with got on Facebook and said, Jamal, rest in peace. I know you're up in heaven doing what you love to do, playing football forever. What? I'm not a religious man, folks, but isn't it the sport or the thing in general that killed you / murdered you, if you get stuck doing that for an eternity in the afterlife, is that fucking heaven? I think Jamal went to hell. That's not heaven. That's not how that works. The last thing he remembers is going up for a pass. He got hit. And now he's waking up and this Jesus like, hey, welcome, son. Go long. That's not how heaven works. Do you think she thinks that if you die, you just come back doing what you loved? No. I'm sure JFK loved being president. You think he's zipping around in the clouds in the back of a Lincoln Continental with the top off? His head looks like a salsa dish still. That's hilarious. If God was like that, he has the greatest sense of humor, though. If you died and then you got to go back as you looked when you died, hilarious. Imagine this. You die, you wake up. You see the fucking stairway to heaven. At the top is the pearly gates. Cool. And then you look down further and you're like, fuck, I'm still in a wheelchair? Stairway to heaven wheelchair. I don't know if you guys didn't get that. I'm sorry. At least if they make it to the top, they get good parking, though, so that's good. That's been my time, everybody. Give it for your awesome host, Spencer. You guys have a good...
Chris Toilo, everybody, one more time. You guys are doing good. You guys are doing good. We're going to keep it rolling right now. Another very funny comic coming to us all the way from Columbus, Ohio. One of our favorites here at the club. Everybody make some noise for Halima Abshir.
Spencer DeMolke, everyone. Keep going for Spencer, guys. Yes, my name sucks. It's Halima. The worst part, a lot of people were like, oh, that's a pretty name. I hate that condescension. My parents left me with this. My parents were like, you know, you get 3 syllables. They're awful immigrants. They suck. You know what Chinese parents do? They're like, your name's Andy now. Xizhang is for at home. You're gonna have a great life, Andy. My parents pick my name like Gen Z kids pick names for succulents. They treat my name how I treat plants in April. They're like, Halima is what speaks to my heart, and because my mom's name is Halima, I'm gonna name this kid Halima too. Sometimes like restaurants call me Helen, like that's great. I always want to tell them, just tell the government that, just. Please, you're with me. You guys are Montgomery people. It's all good, folks. I look like I should star in a Sandlot reboot where I play a trans kid. I live in Columbus. I always get I always have to deal with like young white women that are like way more liberal. Like they always act way too liberal. It's just like, it's all a facade. And they want to remind me that they protested in 2020. Like as if they're like, were you also there supporting George? And I'm like, no, I was at home. Like, I don't know why they're telling me that as if I'm like Farrakhan. Like, am I supposed to like give him the N-word pass? Am I supposed to go, and for you, Brittany, I doth bequeath unto you, akin to cloth and the N-word pass. Proceed with caution. No, it's great. Crime in Columbus sucks. Like, a lot of people are getting their cars stolen, but I live in a predominantly Chinese neighborhood, so I never have to be robbed outside of my weight class. I love my neighborhood. It's nice, you know? It's great. I work at a hipster coffee shop. My favorite part of working at a coffee shop is having homeless friends, because I could give them sandwiches in exchange of scaring customers. That's like, here's a BLT now. Yell at that Michael Kors lady. Dude, if you complain about the latest season of Michael Kors, I'm putting a crackhead on your ass, dude. I hate how like I have to like deal with like a lot of fake Bezos-looking white men. Like that's a trend now. It's like a guy that's like, I'm bald and I have a slightly successful business maybe, or an okay job. I had one of them like he got like a black coffee and then started complaining about President Trump. This was like yesterday. Like, it's been 7 years since Trump was around. But this guy was like, I hate that guy. Nobody complains about old presidents that way. Nobody's walking around going, goddamn Andrew Jackson. Who the heck asked for Manifest Destiny? That damn Ulysses S. Grant. It's called a 401k. Polio Roosevelt. Fucking dumb Kennedy. How about take your Bay of Pigs somewhere else? All right. You guys are great. I don't like how like I'm a young woman, but like I think we say too many words in a high-pitched voice. Like, I catch myself doing that a lot. That's why I smoke weed. I'm like, I can't be this. This is too much. I love cold brew, but I can't constantly sound like this, you know? I don't like how like young women like order pastries at my job because they're always like, hi, I need a treat today. They're never like, I want a cookie. They're like, I need a treat. It's not like meth heads at construction sites are like, I need a treat. Randy just takes his lunch break. Like, he doesn't have to announce it. He works his overtime. It's fine. Dude, if he forgets that pipe, he's just not working overtime. I'm a dishwasher too. I'm a dishwasher, which means I also sell plasma. Yes. I am a plasma donor. I love going there. I get to watch heroin addicts, maybe, possibly, and I get to try it out. It's all right. I love going there, but like I used to go there when I was like a fat teenager, because that's what you do when you're poor and want to afford milkshakes. And yeah, I was like 100 pounds heavier, and I had to go to like the nurse again, and she was like, was it like intentional? I was like, no, I did meth. Like, what do you think people do? She was like, did you get like a surgery? And I'm like, I don't have health insurance. Like, what do you expect to happen? Like, I grew up like pre-body positivity. Like, I grew up around the time when it was still cool to fat shame. You guys know what that's like? It's fun, you know? People just walk up to you at Blockbuster and just go, hey, get your shit together. And no one was like, hey, that sleeve of cookies, diabetes. Not one person did that for me, you know? Do that for a fat kid in your life. If you see an 8-year-old that looks way too much like Danny DeVito, just let him know. They just don't know. They don't know that what tastes so good is eventually gonna kill them. No, body positivity is big everywhere, but here in Ohio we have heroin positivity. Our government tells us to support people on heroin all the time. There are just billboards all over saying, hey, carry Narcan, carry Narcan. Why would I remember Narcan when I never remember lip balm? Folks, my lips are chapped right now. I hate that I can't call myself fat anymore. Like, ever since like Lizzo got famous, like fat people just became like an ethnic minority. I don't like, you can't just say, it's just like, I feel fat. And they're like, no! Like, where were you in 2009? Oh. Man. I grew up a Muslim kid. That was terrible. I'm not Muslim anymore because I'm better than them. My BLTs come with a superiority complex. That's my life now. Because I grew up Muslim, I didn't learn about evolution until I was 16. Which is, it's crazy. Do you have any idea what it's like to go, wait, God didn't construct everything? We're just evolved versions of monkeys? Try telling some lady in a scarf, hey, how do you explain animals basically being us? And they're like, God made, you're a woman. Who gave you that book? Anyways, this is my time. Thank you guys so much. Please get up for a great host, Spencer DeMol.
Halima, everybody! Halima Abshir, come on! Everybody clap it up, baby. We are doing this. You guys are a great fucking audience. We're so happy to have you all here. And now, another one of our club favorites and one of Pippin's favorites. If you come to a show, Go Bananas, you can see Pippin sitting in this guy's lap 99 times out of 100. Everybody give it up for Phil Pointer!
How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody good? All right, wonderful. I'm gonna go and say it since it ain't been said. Happy Black History Month, white people. I know some of y'all thought we saw 1.5 black people and we got away with it, we're good. Oh, y'all better loosen the fuck up, because this is gonna be like this the whole time. I'm gonna start here. My mother and father got divorced when I was very young, so I had to live with my grandmother for a while because my mom worked 2 jobs. And this was kind of traumatic for me because I was a kid back when child abuse was still legal. And my grandmother used to say wild shit to keep me in line, you know? But my grandmother's favorite one to use was, boy, if you keep acting up, I'm gonna beat you with whatever's closest to me. Which was wild because she would only say that while she was ironing. And considering my mother worked for Children's Services, who the fuck was I gonna call? I once got an ass whooping from my father that was actually a religious experience. It was. Because here's the thing, I was in my preteen, so I was feeling myself that day. So I start going off on my mama. And my mom calls my dad to come take care of me like he's some sort of pediatric hitman or something. So my dad comes and picks me up, and I'm sitting in the car looking at this guy who's 6 foot something, 300 something pounds solid, did 2 tours in Vietnam, and all I kept thinking was, maybe I should have kept that last fuck you mama to myself. I think maybe that's the one that got me in this predicament. So we get to my dad's house, and I go up to my room in his house, where it has a view out the front window of this big, beautiful tree he had in the front yard. So my dad comes in, he takes off his belt, goes to work, just whack, 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 whack. And I'm screaming, and I've had enough of this shit, so I grabbed the belt. You heard that sound, didn't y'all? Yeah, she knows what kind of mistake that was. Because here's the thing, without missing a stroke, my father let go of that belt, reached his hand out the window to that big, beautiful tree, snatched a switch off that tree, already skinned, and went back. You ever fuck up so bad, God gets directly involved in your punishment? Like God was sitting there like, nah, I see what he said to his mama, dog. We gonna get this shit stripped and ready for you, hold on. I said it was a religious experience because as I grew up over my life, I had a conservative religious upbringing, but I grew up and I started to have doubts about that conservative Christianity. So I got all the way to being agnostic, but I could never make it all the way to atheist because somebody stripped that goddamn branch and it wasn't my daddy. One week from today, I actually turned 50 years old. And thank you, I appreciate it. That's right, black don't crack. Anyway, but I turned 50, but I don't even feel that old, you know what I'm saying? Like it's wild to me because back when I was in my 20s and 30s, I thought 50 was real old. Like I got to thinking, once I get around 50, I'll probably be ready to retire. And now I look at my bank account like if I miss one day of work in the next 3 years, I'm fucked. But here's the thing, I find myself slipping into old man slowly. Like little pits come out here and there. Like recently I was sitting around, I was flipping through TV, and I saw that they have something coming out soon called Teen Wolf the Movie. So I turned to my wife, who's 10 years younger than me. I was like, Teen Wolf the Movie, what's it? She's like, it's the Teen Wolf based on that TV show Teen Wolf on MTV that's real popular. And without even thinking about it, I just immediately turned into a fucking old white Republican. You young motherfuckers trying to change every goddamn thing. The fuck is wrong with y'all? We had Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox pre-Parkinson's. Y'all don't know shit about a Teen Wolf. Fuck that goddamn movie. My wife was like, why do you hate that movie so much? I said, it's not about hate, it's about heritage. So it's happening slowly. Weather's gotten nicer outside. I'm happy about that. I really am. I hate the super cold weather with the ice and shit. I hate that, mainly because I pride myself on being a good person, helpful to the people I love and care about. But that kind of weather, it tests my love. It does. Like when we have weather like this outside and my wife calls me like, hey babe, I'm coming home, I got some stuff in the car, can you come out and help me? I jump up, put my shoes on, no problem. But we get down to like 30, 20 degrees outside. My wife calls me, babe, could you come out to the car to help? You can fuck right off, and I hang up. She'll call me back. I'll answer when she calls me back, but I'm like, yo, I want a divorce. This marriage is no longer a safe space. You do not care about my well-being. Messed up part about it is it doesn't just stop at my wife. It extends all over. It does. Because a couple of years ago, y'all remember when we had that negative 20 outside? Yeah. My mother called me to go to the store for her. And the first thought I had when she asked me that was, you know what? The breast milk wasn't even all that impressive for this shit. Look, I went to the store. Don't get me wrong. I love my mama, and I went to the store. The entire time I'm out in that shit, I'm like, she could have took a couple of shots of vodka for some White Russians or something, shit. Oh, you did not like that joke at all. She was looking at me like, fuck you. No. I'm gonna do one last thing and I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all have been a great audience. I was shit. Then me and your mama could have had a time in that cold weather. Fuck. I'm very happy to be here, though. I really am. I'm happy to be here because not long ago I was a victim of gun violence. I was hanging out outside of a bar with some friends of mine. We saw a couple of guys off to the side having an altercation. We thought it got squashed because they went their separate ways. So I walked away from my friends, got about 10 or 15 yards away from the bar. All of a sudden behind me I hear, yo, he's got a gun. And just pop, 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 pop. So I take off running. And after about 5 yards, my 49-year-old body showed me that I should never go from 0 to 60 that goddamn fast. At least not without some warm-up, you know what I'm saying? But I take off running, catch a cramp in the back of my leg, fall to the ground, skin on my elbow, and smash my phone. Which means that I was a victim of gun violence. Look, anytime people talk about victims of gun violence, they talk about the person who got shot or their family. Nobody talks about the old fat motherfucker that suddenly had to run for his goddamn life. I'm Phil Pointer. I love y'all. Bye.
Phil Pointer, everybody, huh? He's sweating up here for you guys, huh? All right, you guys, we're very excited to have this next comic back at the club. Everybody get real loud right now for the very funny Glenn Childress.
Hey, guys, how we feeling tonight? All right. Give it up one more time for Spencer and for Phil. Phil's a good friend of mine. He's talking about how black don't crack. He's absolutely right because I'm 74 years old. You guys have a good past weekend? You guys watch Super Bowl? Yeah? Yeah, I know. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I went over a friend of mine's house to watch it, and the couple's house I was over, they got into an argument at halftime and kicked everybody out because according to his wife, apparently he's also, like the Kansas City Chiefs, a cheating whore. So, that was a long way to go. It's a long way to go for a Chiefs joke. I don't know if you guys realize it or not, but we were watching history in the making during that Super Bowl. It was the first time ever two black quarterbacks went head-to-head in the Super Bowl. I thought that was pretty awesome. Lesser known fun fact about that, it's the first time that two black people showed up on time to something. Thank God Patrick Mahomes' mama is white. Might still be waiting on third quarter right now. Ladies and gentlemen, halftime show with Lauryn Hill. No. Somebody got that. No, I did enjoy the Super Bowl, regardless of whether or not our team wasn't in it. I did enjoy it. I mean, I come from an era where, at one point in time, if you were driving too fast down Pete Rose Way, the cop would pull you over and give you 2 tickets to the Bengals game. So, come a long way, man. Oh man. So I was back in the green room earlier, or as I like to call it, my Uber. And I like to read fun facts, just to kind of break the ice. So next time that you're out on a date, you want to share a fun fact, or you're waiting to storm the Capitol, you could share a fun fact with somebody. So the one that I saw just recently was that, and this is 100% true. Did you know that pigs have 30-minute orgasms? Woo! Are you excited for the orgasm or the pig, sir? Maybe both. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We are close to Warren County. It's all right. It's cool. And that blew me away. It blew me away. Because it takes a pig 30 minutes to come, but only 9.5 minutes to kill a black man. Also, we're not ready for critical race humor tonight? So I'm just being serious. Let me think, okay, I'll get back to the racist shit in a second. That's kind of my thing. Let me go back to the pig orgasm thing. Why is the pork industry not calculating on this? That is marketing gold. Think about all the packaging if the pork industry started using the whole 30-minute orgasm thing to their advantage. I mean, 100% pure pulled pork, baby backshot ribs, and my personal favorite, bacon with the mesquite skeet flavor. I don't know. I'm weird when I'm high. It's Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. What's wrong, Tucker Carlson? You can't clap? What the hell? Thank you. Shit. I know it's only 2 of us up here, 2 black dudes, but come on. I love Black History Month. It's a time for people to learn and educate themselves. And I love it so much that I even decorate. Like, I don't take my Christmas tree down. I leave it up till February. It becomes a Black History Month tree. So I don't water it. I just spray it with a high pressure hose while my German Shepherd barks at it. It took me a few minutes to get, that's fine. We'll wait. No, that's funny, man. I like Black History Month. What's really weird right now is like all these guys going up to space now. All these rich fucks going up to space, spending all this money. Every few minutes, you see them jumping in their penis rocket, flying up into space. It's really weird, man. You got all these problems on Earth. What if we do start colonizing outside of Earth and start going into other planets and living there? We take all of our social issues here up into space. It's gonna be weird. And we have to separate everybody based on their social class in different planets. Like, where would you put all the rednecks? I'll tell you where you put them. Put them on Saturn. It's already got a NASCAR track going around. And of course, the gays would go to Uranus. Because of the neutral gender color, not... You guys aren't mature enough to have this conversation yet, I see. That's right. Let me ask you something, man, because you've been engaging and laughing. I ain't gonna fuck with you. I just want your opinion. If you found out that commercial space flight was safe and, reasonably priced, would you go?
Sure.
You would? What about you? Would you go? No. Fuck no. Exactly. Lynn Childress is not going. I'll tell you why. It's a very simple reason. See, the last time people that look like me got on a ship and went somewhere, we ended up building the whole goddamn country. Not doing it. Not doing it. It'd be my luck that I'd be on that first ship, get up there, same damn redneck from Saturn would be standing there waiting for me. Gotcha again, nigger! Welcome to Mississippi. We don't need ropes, we just put you on a balloon and you just go up on your own. I love that one. That was for me. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
Glenn Childress, everybody! All right, you guys. We're heating up. Things are heating up, everybody. Coming to the stage next, another very funny local comic, veteran in the scene. Everybody make some noise for Carl Spade!
Go on for everybody who's seen. Okay. It's good to be here. I called off work for this, so make it worth my while. Honestly, I'd rather bomb than bartend, so I don't care if you laugh either way. But please do. It's how I define my self-worth. It's good to be here. I didn't have a job for about 6 months. I had one interview. I ran into the lady that interviewed me at a bar, and she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, I know you." I was like, "Hey, I know you too. Did I get that job?" She was like, "No, but do you want to get dinner sometime?" And I was like, "Sure, can you pay? I just found out that I don't have a job." I'm always broke, dude. My identity got stolen. The guy got $250, and that ruined my life. Most people find out their identity gets stolen when their bank calls them and they say something like, "Hey, we think somebody tried to steal your identity." I had to go to my bank and be like, "Hey, I think somebody tried to steal my identity." And they're like, "Yeah, we know. We just thought you'd be better off starting over." I live downtown. I was walking my dog the other night, and I turned this corner, and then I lock eyes with this guy that was getting a blowjob in his car. And we were like locked eyes, and then he did this like, and then this girl popped up with this look on her face. It was just the only way I could really describe the look on her face is she had the look on her face of somebody that just got caught with a dick in her mouth. Can you picture that? And I noticed that they were parked in a tow zone, so I tapped on their window. I was like, "Hey, you're parked in a tow zone right now." And they're like, "What?" I was like, "You're parked in a tow zone. I don't want you to get a ticket." And the girl was just like, "Yeah, we know. We're just waiting for somebody to come." And I was like, "Yeah, I can see that. I want you to get a blow job, not a tow job, okay?" They say in life that two negatives, or like in grammar, two negatives make a positive. I don't think life works that way. Life is more like math, where if you add a negative to a negative, you get a bigger negative, right? For instance, I'm irritable, and I have irritable bowel syndrome. And that's two negatives, and there's nothing positive about a grumpy little bitch that might shit his pants at any second. I've only shit my pants once as an adult. I was 20 years old. I was working at a coffee shop making a latte for a lady, and I fucking shit my pants. And I don't know if you've ever done that as an adult in public, but it's a lot like being high in public. You think everybody knows. And they do, because they can smell it on you. I'm a really big hypochondriac. That means I get panicked. I get anxious because I always think I'm sick, but it's all in my head. And that's a really stupid way to use an imagination. Have you ever had to call off work for a panic attack because your brain was pretending you have butt cancer? That's not fair. Like, oh yeah, I didn't leave the house all day today because I thought every burp was gonna be a puke. But I was just daydreaming about it. Like, what the fuck? But then, when you're right, oh my God, if you're a hypochondriac and you're right, it rules. Like, I thought I had stomach cancer, but I just had to get my gallbladder removed. And I was like, I fucking knew something was wrong with me. And I had to meet with the surgeon before the surgery, and he's like, do you have any questions? And I was like, yeah, how soon after this surgery can I start drinking? And he was like, nobody has ever asked me that before. And I was like, well, it sounds like somebody's been doing surgery on a bunch of nerds, because I'm here to party. I got that surgery for free. This is really cool. It's kind of hard to do most of the time in America to get free surgery, but I got it for free because it turns out that surgery is free if you just never pay for it. I don't know, it's a little life hack for everybody. Healthcare is just too expensive in this country. Like, if I actually do ever end up getting cancer, like the only radiation I'll be able to afford is standing in front of a microwave. Okay. That wasn't my first surgery. My first surgery was when I was 13 years old. I got testicular torsion. Anybody know what that is? You do. Yeah, well, if you don't know what it is, it's what happens when you're 13 years old and the day before Thanksgiving you jack off 9 times in a row, and then your body's like, if you don't stop this, I'm gonna strangle your balls to death. And then you have to go get surgery. And I was like obviously a little anxious going into that because my little pubescent ball sack was about to get sliced open with a scalpel. You can picture that in your head, my little pubescent ball sack. Peach fuzz. Just getting sliced open with a knife. But the nurse was trying to calm me down, and she was like making small talk, and she was like, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, no. And she's like, you're just not into that kind of thing. I was like, no, you fucking bitch. I just jacked my way into the ER. Does it sound like I have a girlfriend? Besides, when you were 13, did you ever get a hand job from a 13-year-old? Like a fellow 13-year-old? If that would have happened to me, I would have been in there for a penis replacement surgery. That's all crab claws, dude. I've been trying to figure out how to word that part of that joke for like a couple years now because I feel like every time I tell it, it sounds like 39-year-old me is getting hand jobs from 13-year-olds. And I'm not. My girlfriend's only 10 years younger than me, okay? My mom loves America, and she doesn't understand how the internet works. She thinks MILF stands for Mothers into Liberty and Freedom. She's always telling me, she's like, Carl, it's just hard to tell what's true and what's a lie on the internet these days. I'm like, Mom, it's super easy. If you believe it, it's a fucking lie. Oh, like, I know everything's a lie on the internet because I grew up with it. I got the internet in 1996 when I was 12 years old. And the first thing I did is I got into an AOL chat room and I lied. I pretended to be a 14-year-old girl. And that's what the internet was in 1996. It was 12-year-old boys pretending to be 14-year-old girls talking to 40-year-old perverts, and it was magical. Do you know how many grown men I probably made come? I bet I saved a Girl Scout's life, okay? Instead of choking a Girl Scout out in his back of his van, he just choked one off in his studio apartment, and somebody lived. I am a hero. I should get a discount on Veterans Day for doing that. Is that stolen valor? No, I don't know. I don't know what else I want to talk about. I'll leave you guys with this. My girlfriend and I, we've been together for a while now, since she was 13. And, we've been talking about the future. Like, I think the world's gonna end. And she's like, we should get married and have a baby. I'm like, Cool. I'm fine with the marriage part. The baby part, maybe not. Like, you know, like I feel like at this point, like the only way I'll really end up with a baby is the same way I end up with new cars. Like it'll be after an accident. I'll probably hit her from behind. And I need to be careful when I pull out, right? That's it for me. You're my favorite audience member.
One more time for Carl Spade, you guys. We're gonna keep the show rolling, all right, you guys? Another one of our favorites here at the club. Everybody give it up right now for Jay Armstrong.
All right. I haven't been on stage a whole lot lately, and the world has gone crazy, so let's fucking get right to it. A couple months ago, there was a guy here in Cincinnati that attacked an FBI field office because they raided Donald Trump's house in Florida. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Florida FBI is definitely controlled by the Cincinnati field office. So that's the kind of guy that we're dealing with, right? Guy shows up with an AR-15 strapped to his back, nail gun in his hand, right? The AR is his secondary in this situation. Now, none of the articles that I read, for those of you that don't know about nail guns, you guys don't look like a nail gun heavy crowd. Maybe this guy bought one for one of his workers. But he didn't fucking use it. You look successful. That's all I'm saying, is you look successful. But you got a guy behind you in a flannel, so you hang out with ruffians. It's whatever. There's two kinds of nail guns. There's the pneumatic, which requires an air compressor, and then there's the other kind, which you can use a battery and a little gas canister, and it's like wireless, basically, hoseless. Hoseless sounds way creepier. But the pass load kind, the kind that don't require air compressor, they're not that strong and they don't last very long, right? So I like to assume that this guy showed up with a fucking air compressor, right? Like the dude, he's got the AR strapped to his back, he carries it in and plugs it in, and he's like, I'll be right back. And then he goes out and he gets the nail gun and he gets whatever, I don't know, Donald Trump book he had or whatever. And a guy in Cincinnati whose name is Helmut wrote a book about how Donald Trump is the second coming of Christ. So, yeah, that's a real thing. If you didn't hate living here before, you fucking should now. I don't know if you guys ever seen an air compressor, but it takes a minute they're not ready. You don't just plug them in and they're ready to go. So he goes, gets all his shit, brings it in, plugs it in. He's just standing there like, I like to think that the night before he had a conversation with like one of his fucking cousin, brother, or whatever, and he's like, I'm doing it, Derek. I'm fucking doing it, man. I've had enough. They went after our man, we're going after them. He's like, you taking the AR? He's like, goddamn right, I'm taking the fucking AR. It's my secondary. What's gonna be the primary? The DeWalt, man, come on. And I don't know if you've ever shot a nail gun, but there's like a little guard on the front that you have to press in so that it will fire the nail. If you pull it in and pull the trigger, they just tumble, right? They don't shoot out like a crossbow bolt. And I know that because we used to fucking fire nail guns at each other because it seemed fun at the time. I think I know too many things to be happy, right? I'm going to say that again because it sounds like I'm saying I'm too smart to be happy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I know too many very specific things. I hang out with lawyers and doctors. I know that seems unbelievable, but it's true. Mainly in prison infirmaries. But I have a friend who is, he was actually, he just got fired, but he was the ER director at the VA here in Cincinnati. I used to not be able to say where he worked, and then he got fired, so now I can. And he likes to brag to me about shit that he does. Like, he's real good at what he does, and he likes to brag, and I rarely even know what he's talking about. When he comes to me, he's like, Jay, we had this guy come in, he had some internal bleeding. It was so bad we had to give him a gallon of blood every hour. Is that a lot? Like, look, I don't know. Like, to drink it, that seems like a lot. I feel like if you're losing it, like, infinity is the limit. You know what I mean? If it keeps pouring out there, keep pouring it in here. And the hospitals were also, so the VA is not equipped to deal with something like that. And so they had to get him to a level 1 trauma center somewhere, and all the hospitals here locally were full of COVID patients, so they tricked out they got Exhibit to come in and they pimped an ambulance, right? They turned an ambulance into a mobile trauma center and drove this guy to Indianapolis. And I was like, well, what happened to the guy? And he goes, well, he lived. And I was like, no, like, what caused the internal bleeding? He goes, it just happens sometimes. Why the fuck would you ever tell somebody that, right? Like, that doesn't give me something to look for. All it gives me is a new level of fucking anxiety that I didn't have prior to this interaction. Now I'm constantly walking around like, is that White Castle? Or am I dying from internal bleeding? So now I have a new level of anxiety that I didn't know before. I also realized that I forgot my favorite line of the first joke, which is the guy that attacked that FBI field office. So here's the thing, I'm a non-political dude, I hate them all, right? Washington, D.C. could burn to the ground right now, and I wouldn't know until someone told me, right? Because my life itself wouldn't be affected in any way. So any of the political shit I say, please don't think I have a side, I don't. I'm not one of those guys that says, I hate all politicians so that I can secretly only bash one side and make it seem like I have more fucking respect for it, and I don't. You can line them all up on 275 and shoot them in the fucking face. That's the level of hatred for politicians that I have, except for the president, because I think that if I do a blanket threat like that, I might need one of you guys to take a nail gun down to the fucking FBI field office. But here's the thing, people on the right hated that guy because they thought he was like an Antifa plant meant to make Trump supporters look bad. And people on the left hated that guy because they thought he was a domestic terrorist. I think that guy is an absolute hero because he took on the world's best equipped, best trained, and best manned law enforcement agency alone with a nail gun. That's a level of self-confidence that I've never experienced. I've never experienced. See, that's a good line. I did it after the joke and it still worked. Oh, I have a friend that's a lawyer who gives me free law advice and it's worth exactly what I pay for it. You guys might have seen this man on the news as well because about 2 years ago he threatened to assassinate Kentucky's governor, Andy Beshear. His name's Greg Troutman. Feel free to look him up. He also shot his neighbor with a crossbow. Here's the thing, I probably shouldn't talk about him and say his name on stage. What's he gonna do, sue me? He's clearly not a very good lawyer. I had a problem with, I have a 16-year-old son who is real stupid. Like, but I'm not joking. He saw on Facebook that the local police were trying to figure out who broke into this gas station. It was some teenage kid broke in, stole a bunch of fucking disposable vapes and shit. Didn't even steal beer. What kind of fucking idiot breaks the front window out of a gas station as a teenager and steals Mr. Fogg's, right? First off, beer is number one. Secondly, if you're gonna steal disposable vapes, you're taking the fucking weed vapes. What are you doing, these fucking idiots? And so Christian thought that he knew who the kid was, right? And so he, obviously he's a high school kid, he starts spreading the rumors throughout the school, like, hey, that was this Brady Roberts kid. And so the police come to the house and they want to talk to Christian, and I was like, look, here's the thing, you're not talking to him unless he has a lawyer present, because he's real dumb. And he will say things that you can manipulate him into. Never talk to the police, that's what I'm getting at. I don't care how smart you are, never fucking talk to the police. There's 5 words that you say to police, and it's, I have nothing to say. So I tell him, I'm like, but look, I'm not paying for a lawyer, so he's just not going to talk to you unless he's compelled to. And so they're like, all right, all right. So they come to talk to us again like 2 weeks later, like, look, we just want to ask him some questions. And I was like, it's not happening. They were like, we actually have some evidence that he's being implicated in the crime. I was like, I have his Life 360 data, I have his location data, like, I'll give you all that. And they were like, no, we don't want that, we want to talk to him. Like, yeah, you want to fucking railroad my kid into saying something stupid, which he will do. And, so I basically go up there and I'm like, we're done, 100% done. And my wife gets an email from the same cop, and this one said, hey, if Christian wasn't involved, why is Sheila Scroggins saying that he was? Now here's the thing, I have not been through the police academy, right? I haven't. But I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to tell the suspect who told on him. Right? It's not like he's locked up and they're telling him, or he's getting it through the discovery paperwork. Discovery paperwork is something no one who's ever not been to prison knows anything about, so that's what it is. But so, he goes to smoke weed with his friends after work, and I know he went to go smoke weed with his friends, not because he told me, right? He's stupid, but he's not that stupid. I know because he showed up at the park and his friends were already being arrested for possession of cannabis. And did he turn around or just continue walking? No, this dumb fucker walks right down like, what's going on? He said, we want to search you if you're with them. And he goes, no, my mom said not to talk to police. And he goes, too bad, grabs the phone out of his hand and searches him anyway, right? So I call Greg and I'm like, hey, how mad should I be? He goes, you should go to that police station and let the chief know if they won't respect your family's First or Fourth Amendment, that you're going to go up there and exercise your second. Nope. Not fucking doing that. I can't even imagine how that would play out. Like I walk up and I demand to talk to the chief like he's the manager of the police. And then when he comes out, I'm like, look, man, you're going to leave me alone or I'll fucking kill you. Right? I can't imagine that working out in my favor. But if you see me in the news, killed inside the police department, that's what happened. I followed the advice of my attorney. My name's Jay Armstrong, guys. Thanks.
Jay Armstrong, everybody, come on! All right, you guys, next comic coming to the stage, originally from Columbus, Ohio, but has since moved out to Los Angeles. We're very psyched to have her back. One of Pippin's favorites and one of ours as well. Everybody give it up for Shayna Rabbani!
Keep it going for my friend Spencer. Hello, hi guys, I'm Shayna. Jay was just up here. He said his son needs a lawyer because he's dumb when he talks to police. By that math, I just need a lawyer all the time. Like, I just need one all the time. Anybody else? No? Okay. Smarter than me? That's okay. Hi, guys. I didn't sleep well last night. I was up thinking. You guys ever think about weird things when you're up? I was thinking about, do you guys remember back in the day when they had carrier pigeons? You guys remember? Do you think they ever did prank calls with them? You think anyone ever sent like a joking one? 3 months later they receive one, it's like, just joking. The army already invaded, what do you mean? That's what I was thinking about. What about you? What keeps you up at night? Like Spencer said, you guys, I just moved to Los Angeles. I'm really happy to be back here. Before I moved, a lot of people told me about the conversion rate, about like, you know how like, if you're like a Midwest 9, you're in LA like 4, right? You know, I don't know how it works, but I'm bad at math. Okay, so like, but no one told me that there's also a financial spectrum. I was like a Midwest, didn't always need to check the price tags. I'm in LA, I should start driving for Uber. That's where I'm at. I'm Jewish. I'm sorry. Me and that dude and Spencer, we're the Jews. You guys, the thing about being Jewish, okay, here it is. When you grew up Jewish primarily in the Midwest, there's not a lot of Jews, so your friends think that you're the one they have to ask all their questions to. And recently, my friend asked me, Halima, she was actually up here, she asked me why Anne Frank was the only one who wrote about the Holocaust. I feel like the other ones were busy, you know? I feel like they didn't have a lot of downtime. Also, other people wrote about the Holocaust. Anne Frank just had the best publishing deal, you know? She had the best publisher. Halima also was talking about giving plasma, and I didn't even put it together until right now, but I think she's been giving too much. She's starting to refer to things in like terms of plasma. She told me her car payment is 7.5 plasmas a month. And I'm getting worried about her. I'm gonna give you guys a fun fact about Jews, unsolicited. Jews don't have godparents. For some reason, I don't know why, we don't believe in godparents. Instead, when Jews are born, they're just assigned 2 lawyers at birth. Our god lawyers, and we love them. They're like, we don't know what's gonna happen to Shayna when her parents aren't here, but she'll be well represented. That's what we know. Being Jewish, I'm also, I'm Persian and Mexican. Yeah, and that's about right. The thing about, like I said, you guys, people say weird things to me sometimes. Like, most recently I told somebody that I was Mexican here in Ohio, and he just said, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, in person, like, he was like, I'm so sorry about that. Like as if I told him some really bad news. Like, he honestly, when he said it, he started, like, stepping away a little bit from me. Like, he was afraid he was gonna catch my strong work ethic or something, I don't know. I was like, don't worry, you can't catch Mexican. It's literally why we're in this country. We're very quick. I'm in a relationship, so I'm Mexican Persian, okay? My boyfriend's family, they're white. And they do the weird thing too. When I first met them, so they live in Florida, and they picked me up from the airport the first time I ever met them. I walked to their car, and his mom and his dad are both wearing sombreros. Yeah, like big sombreros. And it was Cinco de Mayo, okay? Give them a break. I get into the car and his mom looks at me, she's mortified. She's like, Shayna, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted you to feel at home. I felt bad. I was like, it's okay, don't worry. I do feel at home. Back in Ohio, they're racist too. You're good. Being from a multicultural relationship is interesting, just because, like, so white people, I don't know if you guys have that many cousins, but I have a lot of cousins. You do? I don't believe you. I'm just kidding. How many? I'm just kidding. Too many? Okay, that's like 5. We can talk about it later. I have a lot of cousins too. Well, congratulations. He doesn't. My boyfriend doesn't have a lot of. I called him the other day and I was like, hey, I need you to take off work. I need you to come to California and come to my cousin's wedding. It's March 7th. He was like, okay, that's cool. A couple days later, another one of my cousins is getting married. I called him. I was like, hey, I need you to take off work. My cousin's getting married in May. He was like, all right, that's cool. The third time, I was like, hey, he stopped me. He was like, Shayna, I cannot keep calling off work for your cousin's weddings. If I call off work for your cousin's wedding one more time, I can't call off for our wedding. Like, I can't. He's like, I'm gonna have to clock in after we say our vows. Our wedding's gonna have to be in my break room. Yeah, we're not getting married anytime soon though, so I don't know, I think you could probably call off. My boyfriend is, he's a twin, which is nice. Whenever people find out I'm dating a twin, they will often ask me if I can tell him and his brother apart from each other. And the answer to that is yes, 100% I can, in very subtle ways that most people probably can't. For example, my boyfriend, he has a freckle on the tip of his dick that his brother doesn't have. I'm kidding. I've never seen his brother's penis. Thanks. You guys, I've never ever seen his brother's. That freckle actually is genetic. It comes from his dad. I'm joking. I'm joking. We do have to let you guys, that's not serious. Listen, I'm not into that weird, I have friends who are really into weird things sexually who might have sex with their boyfriend and their dad. Not me. Any people into like weird things here though, sexually? No one wants to admit it, that's fine. At least 1 in 12 people like weird shit, I made that up. But I have a friend, okay, recently told me she's really into gangbangs, is what she said. She said, Shayna, don't knock it till you try it. That's what people say about like dipping ketchup in things. You know what I mean? Like that's what you say about. I asked her about it. She said 7 guys came over to her apartment, and then took turns having sex with her. She said best sex of her life. You guys, I live in an apartment, and I have 1 parking spot. Where do they park? I don't understand. How do they come over? If 7 guys wanted to come over and have sex with me, one of them would have to have a minivan. Like that's what I. Crazy. Don't knock it till you try it, though. You know, I don't know. Let me know. Well, that's good. Yeah. She's like, I don't know. She's like saying it in front of, like, I don't know. I've never been there. I don't know. Like, you know when someone says something to like compensate for it? I feel like you do. She's like, I have a lot of cousins that come over in 7s. We're having fun. Okay, that's enough. I'm in an open relationship with my diet. It wasn't working, you know? I was like, listen, I keep cheating on you. I used to be a vegan. I sat it down, I was like, listen, honestly, the way that I opened my relationship with being a vegan is the way I would open it with my boyfriend now. I sat down, veganism, and I was just like, listen, it's not you, it's me. I have needs that aren't being met. I need more meat. You guys, I gotta get out of here. You guys were a lot of fun. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Let's get Spencer back up here.
Shane, everybody! All right, you guys. Checks are coming around. Make sure you guys do a good job taking care of Ellen. She took care of all you guys by herself tonight, so treat her right. All right, you guys, coming to the stage right now. Another one of our favorites here at the club. You guys are really getting treated to a good one tonight. Coming to the stage right now, Brian Million!
Hello. Hi. How are you? Hi. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. I appreciate that. Why is your back turned? What's going on here? What did you? No, you're behaving. Okay. No, I get it. Yeah, do what you're told. I got it. I understand. Was the lady that was here? What kind of animal was that? Was that a dog? Oh, I lost the bet. I thought it was a duck. It's very interesting looking, right? She walked out and the head was doing this shit. I was like, you white people are carrying this emotional support animal shit too fucking far. A duck? Really? That's crazy. That's a very interesting looking dog. I saw it was a video that had a guy had a duck on emotionally support and it was on a leash. And he walked across the street, he was in California, and the fucking thing was flying on a leash, and he just literally walked. I was like, that almost looks like a hostage. You know what I'm saying? It was like, is that an emotionally support animal? Where's the dog now? Outside? Okay, is it coming back or no? So we just have to, no, it's not. Of course not. Why would it come back? I think it might have been a duck, guys. I don't know. I wanted to see it so bad. My name is Brian Million, and I am happy to be here. This is, thank you very much. This is Pippin Showcase. Are you familiar with Pippin? Did you see Pippin? No? So Pippin is an adorable pug who is also the assistant general manager of the club. So, and I love Pippin, even though he sheds. I want a dog bad. I'm not really sure what kind of dog, to get. I know I don't want a pit bull. I know that. Do you guys, anybody here own a pit bull? Round of applause if you own a pit bull. Exactly, right? People who own pit bulls, they believe that, they're great dogs, great animals. They love them. They believe that there's no such thing as a bad pit bull, just bad pit bull owners. That's what they believe. And you know what we people who don't own pit bulls believe? The fucking news, right? So ignore the news, right? I don't think you can ignore the news. I can't be a pit bull owner because I can't be a pack leader to a pit. You can't be a pack leader if you're scared of what might happen to you if you run out of dog food. You know what I'm saying? You can't. walking through the house and the dog is hungry and you look and there's nothing in the bowl and you just try to, sneak the fuck out of the house, just kind of, and you're like, I'm like, oh, no, okay, I'll make you something to eat. That's fine. They said, do we have dog owners aside from the dog? You got a couple? Okay. Do you need big dogs? You have a big dog? Any big dog owners? What kind of dog do you have? No, that doesn't count. What, you got like a goose-looking dog? Huh? Oh, you have a German Shepherd? How many pounds? How much does it weigh? 80 pounds, okay. And then over here, I saw a hand. Anybody right here? A 30 pound? Now, is 30 pound a big dog? Would you consider that? No. No. You didn't hear my question, or you just wanted to jump out there? I know, let's participate. I appreciate it's like, you're just excited to talk to somebody black is what it feels like. It's just, a fucking answer? Yes. So, does anybody else have a big dog other than what kind of dog do you have? And how large? How much does it weigh? 60 pounds. Is that it? What's a big dog weigh? What do you?
We have a 90-pound English bulldog.
The one with the back turn. English bulldog, 90 pounds. Thank you for pointing her out. Thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate you.
Her Chiweenie weighs 20 pounds.
Her what?
Her Chiweenie, a little tiny.
Weighs 20 pounds. Okay. That's great. Okay. This has turned into a fucking town hall meeting. This is people love their dogs so much. I assumed the big dog was 80, 90, 100 pounds. I got a 20-pound answer over here. This is fucking awesome. Turns out you have the biggest dog of all the people. Why didn't he come?
He's not a service dog.
Oh, this is a service dog that was here. Oh, okay. All right. I don't. You gotta tell you what. You gotta be respectful though. I can't say shit. I can't, because that's the fucking thing. You just have to respect all shit. It's just what the thing. It's just. Segregation is what it felt like. One dog can come out and the other one can't, because I feel for that dog. I don't. People sometimes they say get a big dog because it'll protect you. Have you heard that before? A big dog will protect you. I think that's bullshit, because you have to train it. People think a dog is just going to protect you because it's a big dog. That's not how dogs work. You got to train it. You get a big dog without training it. You don't have a guard dog. You just got a regular dog in a guard dog suit is what it feels like, right? Somebody break in your house with a dog that's not trained. You be like, all right, killer, go down there and get that burglar. And the killer come out and be like, all right, what we doing? Okay, we about to play, what do you want me to sniff his balls? What are we doing? How we? Like, no, it's the guy downstairs stealing all our shit. Go down there and kill him. He's like, okay, kill him. And the killer go downstairs and he come right back up. Did you know that motherfucker had a gun? Did you know that? You send me down there? You go down there. He's not stealing our shit, he's stealing your shit, okay? He ain't have a chew toy, a blanket, or nothing. Fuck you. Turn that light out, close that cage door. I won't bite him, but I will bite the shit out of you, so I don't. It's Black History Month. You heard by all the other black comedians. Thank you very much for applauding. It pressures you, right? You heard Black History, but you're white, you're supposed to clap. I appreciate you, thank you. They made you feel awkward. I saw that shit in the back. I live here in Montgomery. I don't live, you nodded your head. Is that what it felt bad, right? But like, well, okay. Huh?
We don't feel bad at all. We love you.
Okay, great. This political correctness shit is going way too far. I love you too, both of you. As a group, that's awesome. Oh, comedy is so different these days. It's just, you just receive and you love everyone. And how can you turn it down? Thank you very much. It's an awesome sentiment. I live here in Montgomery, and there's not a lot of black people here in Montgomery, as you can fucking tell. I moved here for the school district, right? I moved here for the school district. I told the realtor, when she asked me for a list of what was most important, I just put on there, a great school district. It wasn't until I moved into Montgomery I realized my list of important shit should have included seeing black people, because I haven't seen a black person in my neighborhood in 8 months, wasn't dropping off a package. So I'm trying to make friends with like UPS drivers and shit. I made a bunt cake the other day. Who the fuck makes a bunt cake? Apparently, hey, you want to play PlayStation? I got a bunt cake. Apparently you get too friendly. You seem like you want to suck a dick, which I don't, okay? I support it. If that's what you do, okay, I got it. But I ain't no dick going in my mouth. But no, that didn't sound right. I'm gonna rewrite that joke. That's what I'm gonna do. That's not a. So Black History Month comes, and in Montgomery, in the school system, it makes the black kids feel awkward, right? Because when you are such a small minority in the school, it feels like you're gonna get called out. I remember my daughter thought on the first day of Black History Month, the teacher was gonna call the class together and say, hey class, listen, we are about to celebrate Black History Month. That means every day this month, we are going to celebrate diversity. Now, diversity is how we are all very, very different than Bianca, okay? You see? See how her nose is spread across her face? It's beautiful, and her big, full lips, look. I was like, honey, what the fuck have you been watching on television? White people aren't gonna do that. White people are lovely. They're accepting now, so what are you doing? And she was like, hey, great, can you talk to my school for Black History Month? And I said, yes, I will. And she said, okay, great, I'm gonna need you to dress like a slave, and then walk the fuck out of the room. And I was like, well, you're gonna get an F tomorrow, because I'm not dressing like Kunta Kinte so that you can get Kunta Kinte, sir, is a slave that was depicted in a CBS miniseries years ago. So, okay, each one teach one. That's all I want to do. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. I went to Wikipedia. You can go to Wikipedia if you didn't know that, and you can search how many people, the demographic breakdown of your community. And in Montgomery at the time, it said black people made up 1.736% of the population, which is too goddamn specific a number to me, right? It's awful specific, right? You could have rounded that up to 2%. You round up milk, right? About 2% fat and all 2% milk. Feels like I'm gonna be leaving the city, going to work one day, to be a white man with a clipboard, like, hey, you coming back? So, my name is Brian Million. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Brian Million, everybody give it up for him. All right, you guys, I know the check just came around. Let's leave your tips, guys. And this is your last comic of the evening, so let's all bring it together. And I need you guys to get super loud when I say his name, all right? Everybody give it up for the very funny Mark Shalapoo!
Keep it going if you guys have had fun tonight. All right, most of the crowd, good. I'm feeling good because I made $10 so far tonight. Yeah, I bet somebody that was stupid enough to think that ducks come into comedy clubs. So, feeling good about that. I even knew it was a dog before the bet, so I'm a financial wizard. Thank you guys for being here and supporting Pippin. We're trying to raise money for his surgery, and judging by the turnout, it's not gonna happen, so sorry, Pippin. I know it's February. People keep talking about that. Has anybody stuck with their New Year's resolution? Round of applause.
Woo!
Just one person. All right, what was your resolution?
It was to go to the gym more.
Go to the gym more? That's awesome. That was my resolution too. I lasted 3 days. Because on day 3, I walked in and just saw this huge bro that had a t-shirt on that just said, "My warm-up is tougher than your workout." And I was like, he's right, and I left. That was it, so I'm glad you stuck with it. Way to go. I was talking to a friend about that. He said he can't work out at the gym unless there's a hot chick on the machine in front of him. He said that she's like the carrot at the end of the stick. I was like, okay, you psychopath. You can't exercise unless you think you're chasing a woman? At least tell the woman so she has new motivation for her workouts, you know? She's gonna start going a lot harder. It's easy for me to see why that guy's a lunatic too, because I'm a feminist 100%, because I have a wife and 3 young daughters, so of course I'm gonna defend women's rights when I own 4 of them. All right, some of you reacted like this is still a comedy show. Some of you reacted like you live in my house, that's okay too. I do. I've got 3 daughters, and when people hear that, they're always like, oh, you gonna try for that boy? 3 girls, you gonna try for that boy? I've been trying! I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing differently. Should I have my hat backwards while I'm trying? How's it work? Also, no, I don't need a boy. I've got 3 awesome daughters. So it's like, what? Nobody wants to go to the game with me? I guess I'll just go with my friends. So much better anyway. They're like, don't you want your last name to be carried on? Honestly, not even thrilled that I kept it, to be honest. Shalafu, that's a fun show business last name. Califax, I get that a lot on stage. Give it up for your next comedian, Shalafalufu, that happens sometimes, so. Yeah, they don't need to keep it. Round of applause, married people. Do we have any married people? Only 2. Slim pickings. How long have you been married? 15. Are you married to this guy? Okay, cool. Congrats on 15. How did you propose? On one knee? Yeah, that's a good classic way to do it. I like that. That's traditional. I was talking to a friend. He proposed recently. He said he did it on a cliffside in Jamaica. It's like, of course she said yes to that. You know, otherwise she's going off a cliffside in Jamaica, you know? Nobody's gonna say no. It would be the next Natalie Holloway or something. I did a show in West Virginia a few weeks ago, and I was talking to somebody that was married in the front row, and I asked him how he proposed, and they both started laughing. And then he revealed that he asked her to marry him while they were in the middle of having sex. So I was like, I hope her family wasn't there for that. You hired a photographer, everyone's around. It's a fun memory for Instagram. And I do, round of applause. How many people have kids? Round of applause. How many kids do you have? 2? Which one's your favorite? Which one? They're both your favorite? No, they're not. What? How old are they? 18 months and 8 years old. Okay, so most people go oldest to youngest. I think we just cracked that case. 18 months to 8. Although 8 is a lot more fun age than 18 months. And I've got 3. I have a favorite for sure. I don't want my kids to think I have a favorite. I want them to know who the favorite is every single day. Every morning I post the power rankings in the kitchen so they can see where they stand. I love them unconditionally, of course, but now that our oldest is 9, it's like maybe there should be some conditions, you know? It's just how I feel. Like if I look you in the face and say, I love you, and your response is okay, yeah, maybe some conditions at that point. And I do, I've been trying to get better. My New Year's resolution last year, right, was to try and get better with my phone because I'm addicted to my phone, like a lot of people are. And so my New Year's resolution was to put it away anytime the kids are in the house. Kids around, phone goes away. I made it about 2 weeks without seeing my kids, so that was a good run for me. I'm not even doing anything fun on my phone. I'm just doing dumb social media stuff. And I've already moved way past like all the normal shit. You know, and my newest obsession is the Nextdoor app. Is anybody on it? Round of applause. Only a couple people. That's where it's the most fun. It is. The rest of you are missing out completely. You know, I love it because it gets so specific on that app on Nextdoor with the level of hate. Like if you go on Facebook and Twitter, people are like, I hate Democrats. And you go on Nextdoor, people are like, I hate Fred. 1867 Pine Mills Drive, that Fred. And I hate his dogs. He doesn't clean up after them. It's mostly old people that are on there bitching. Like you see them in the street, they'll wave to you, and then they'll get on their computers and they're like, here's why this toddler should be in prison. I'm like, relax, buddy. Old people and moms. Moms love to fight on there, especially if there's a school levy up in your hometown. Holy shit, that's the most fun. We had one in my hometown last fall. And this mom posted this huge rant on Nextdoor about the levy. And then right underneath it, another mom commented. She's like, how can we trust your comments here if your husband can't even trust you to be faithful? Whoa, shit. I canceled plans just so I could watch that back and forth. I forgot to get my kids off the bus that day. I was watching Real Housewives of Target. I love it. I love it. I'm a married person now, and I have been. It's been like 13 years. I don't know why I said now. We have 3 children. She's still an attractive person, but she's at that age now because she's in her 30s. I have to constantly remind her of that, reassure her of that, right? Like the other day, we went out on a big date night, and she was trying to point out something that she thought was an imperfection on her body, and I had to reassure her and be like, what you think is an imperfection, I love that. You know, because it is a direct result of this life that we have built and shared together. It's beautiful. That was not the right answer to that. Apparently, you're supposed to say, what imperfection, you know? Women don't like to hear that. You're like, yo, you know what's sexy about you? The passage of time. I look into your eyes, you know what I see? Our shared history. That doesn't do it, man. I should be better. I should be better at that marriage stuff. We went on a date night once and she got dressed up. She said, sorry, I don't look that great. And it's like, first off, you look gorgeous. Second off, we've been married for 13 years. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to impress me. You know, you look great even in yoga pants and a t-shirt. And I do believe that. I didn't say that night. The way that conversation went was her saying, sorry, I don't look that great. And then me just saying, oh, that's okay. That is much worse. I tried to make up for that. I drew a little picture of a heart and left it in her car so she would know I was thinking about her. And didn't hear from her all day. And then she gets home from work, and I was like, hey, did you get my note? She was like, oh, that was from you? Now we get to have a different conversation. Who did you think that was from? She told me she thought she had a stalker who broke into her car, left her that note, and was going to murder her. I was like, stalker? You're in your mid-30s with 3 kids. I think those days are behind you. Again, shouldn't have said that. But you learn. All right, I'll tell you guys. Have you guys had a good time tonight? Most of you? That's good. I'll tell you guys one more thing. And then we'll get out of here and we can go to some after party where we're raising money for a cat. So, I'm not going to tell you. Well, nope. Not going to do that one either. I really want to, but it's, I'll be sorry. It's not even, I just wrote down on a piece of paper. All right, fuck it. All right, this is not even a joke. It's just about how I feel like an irresponsible parent. But here's what I hate about most parents, right? They always try and hype up their kids. You see another mom at the park. They're like, oh, that's my guy. That's Kevin over there. He's already in double preschool. He's learning Latin. And I'm like, okay, he's also eating mulch right now. Is he into organic farming? Is that what that is with Kevin? And I want parents just to be more open, because we're all insecure, right? I just want us to be more open about the shit that we fuck up with and that we're bad at. Like, I took my daughter, I remember when she was a baby, I had to take her in for an x-ray because I thought she swallowed a penny. And it turns out that she did not swallow a penny. I think that's worse, kind of. I was like, I know I had a penny around here somewhere then. You tell me where it is, doctor. But here's the thing that I probably fucked up the most with them, and I'm still waiting to see how this unfolds, is like during COVID, we were all stuck at home for a while, and so with my then 7-year-old daughter and 5-year-old daughters, we bonded over playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, that's not a healthy game for a child to play. With a 7-year-old, we started, and she was like, oh, this is great, let's feed the horsey. 20 minutes later, she was like, let's shoot the townspeople. And that's what we did. That's not healthy for a child. Every round is just ended with a suicide by cop. But I do still think the worst parents are the ones that just will like take their kids to the park and ignore them. Right? Like I took my little 3-year-old to the park last week, and there was a 4-year-old girl that came running up to my daughter, and she hit my kid. She was just like, I don't like you, and hit her. And my daughter wasn't hurt, but she was really scared and confused by this. And all she could muster up in the moment, she just said, but I'm nice. That crushed me as a dad to watch her process that and deal with it. And so I did what you're supposed to do in that situation, and I removed my kid from it. But I did it while saying stuff loud enough to make sure that they could hear us too, right? I was like, sweetie, come on, let's get away from the mean girl with the fucked up teeth. That's it for me. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Mark Shalabu, everybody. Look who it is. It's Pippin, huh? The reason we're all here. Give it up for him. God bless it. That's a dog on stage at a comedy club. You don't see that every day. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Give it up one more time for all the comedians you saw tonight, huh? I'm not going to say all their names. There was a hell of a lot of them. Thank you guys so much. Follow the club on Instagram. This weekend we got Jimmy Pardo, one of the greats. Sunday we got Rich Voss. So make sure you guys come back, check out a show. Everybody get home safe. Thank you so much.